Good evening, everybody. Isn't it a great day to be alive? I truly believe this is a day the Lord has made, and we ought to rejoice and be glad in it. I want to talk to you tonight about something that should ignite a fire of faith in your spirit elevation. God is a God of increase, a God of promotion, and a God of breakthrough. He doesn't just want you to get by. He wants you to soar. He has a destiny of abundance and favor marked out for your life. Sometimes we look up and think, when is my time coming? When will this struggle end? Well, I want to give you a faith injection right now. God is already working behind the scenes. He's setting the stage. And I want to share with you 7 undeniable signs that God is actively elevating your life. Get ready to be encouraged, because if you see these signs, you are right on the verge of your next great season. This first sign is perhaps the most powerful indicator that God is setting the stage for your promotion, the piece that doesn't make sense. Think about it. When everything around you is chaotic, maybe the finances are tight, a challenging medical report just came in, or there's friction in a key relationship, the natural human response is to panic. It's to lose sleep, to worry, to run through every worst case scenario. But suddenly, you find this deep, unwavering calm settling over your spirit. You have a quiet confidence that says, I don't know how it's going to work out, but I know that God is in control and He is working things out for my good. That calm isn't just you trying to be positive. It is a divine deposit. It is the Holy Spirit ministering to your soul, letting you know that the blessing is bigger than the battle you're currently facing. This supernatural tranquility is not born from your circumstances getting better. It's born from a revelation of God's sovereignty. The outside pressure is high, but your inner peace is higher. This is God's signature move before an elevation. When He is preparing to move you to a new level of influence, blessing, or responsibility, He first secures your foundation. He doesn't want you promoted only to be overcome by anxiety when the pressure increases at the new level. So He instills this deep, abiding peace as a test of your trust. He's essentially saying, if you can be calm right here in the middle of the storm, I can trust you with the breakthrough and the favor I have prepared for you. That peace is your internal witness that the tide has turned. When you refuse to worry, when you keep your composure when things are shaking, you are demonstrating a profound level of faith. You are telling God, my trust is not in my bank account, my health, or my connections. My trust is entirely in you. This is a critical step in the elevation process because the enemy tries to use chaos and fear to disqualify you. The temptation is to drop your shield of faith and start fighting the battle in your own strength. But when you stay relaxed, when you keep your mind fixed on God's promises, that is when the breakthrough happens. Don't mistake that tranquility for apathy. It's a powerful, purposeful calm. It is the strength of God resting on your life. So, when you wake up in the morning and feel that inexplicable, quiet confidence, take a moment to be thankful. That feeling is not coincidence, it's confirmation. God is putting you in the right frame of mind and heart to receive the new thing He is doing. He is preparing you to manage the elevated life. That enduring peace is your internal security system, a glorious promise that even though the storm rages, you are anchored to the rock. You can rest assured that the hand of God is moving and that the season of increase is not just coming. It is already upon you. This second sign of elevation is one we need to truly grasp because it often feels contradictory. Increased opposition and attack. The moment God is about to promote you, the moment He is preparing to release that new level of favor, abundance, or influence into your life, the resistance you feel is going to ramp up. Don't be surprised when things start to get harder, not easier. Why? Because the enemy doesn't waste time on people who are staying down and playing small. He only attacks the threats. He only tries to stop the champions. If you feel like you are under unusual pressure, more discouragement, more financial strain, more people trying to stir up strife, take a moment and actually thank God. This intensified attack is simply the devil's way of acknowledging the greatness coming into your life. Understand this principle: the attack is proof of the promotion. Think of any great athlete who is about to win a championship. Their opponent doesn't just concede, they fight with every ounce of energy they have left. In the spiritual realm, it's the same way. When the enemy sees you consistently praising God through your difficulties, when he sees you refusing to quit, and when he sees God's favor lining up your next big breakthrough, he tries one last desperate, fierce push to knock you off course. He wants you to get weary, discouraged, and settle for less. Don't fall for that trap. When you feel the heat turning up, know that you are not being defeated, you are being prepared. The fiercer the attack, the closer you are to stepping into that new, elevated territory. This heightened resistance serves a divine purpose. It is strengthening you for the next level. Every time you refuse to give in to worry, every time you take the high road when someone is unfair, and every time you stand firm on God's promises despite what the circumstances look like, you are building spiritual muscle. You are proving to yourself and to God that you are ready to handle the pressure that comes with the blessing. After all, a greater blessing requires a greater resolve. God knows that the people you will influence and the responsibilities you will manage at the next level will require a tough skin and an unshakable spirit. The opposition you overcome now is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to develop you. So, when the giant opposition shows up at your door, don't shrink back in fear. Stand up tall and recognize it for what it is: a signpost. It's an unmistakable indication that the elevation is imminent. The enemy is fighting so hard because he knows he is about to lose. Hold your ground. Keep your faith strong. Don't focus on the magnitude of the problem. Focus on the greatness of your God. When the battle is the hardest, that is your sign that the victory is the closest. You are just a few more steps away from the place where God silences your critics and causes you to stand in a position of undeniable favor. This is a subtle, yet powerful sign that God is elevating your life-divine discomfort with the status quo. You used to be perfectly content right where you were. That job was fine, the house was adequate, and your social circle was comfortable. You had settled into a routine and life was predictable. But suddenly you feel this stirring, this holy dissatisfaction deep in your spirit. The old way of doing things, the old level, the old environment, it just feels too small now. That restless feeling isn't a sign of ingratitude, it's a divine nudge. It's God giving you a new capacity for vision, showing you that there is more territory for you to conquer, and pulling you right out of your comfort zone. You see, the problem with the comfort zone is that nothing grows there. If God wants to take you to a new mountaintop, He has to make the valley floor uncomfortable. That feeling of restlessness is your spirit recognizing the distance between where you are and where God intends for you to be. That quiet voice saying, "You are made for more," is the voice of the Creator preparing you for increase. This is where many people miss their promotion. They confuse this divine push with anxiety or stress, and they try to suppress it. They go back to the familiar, the safe, and the small. But when you feel that persistent yearning for something greater, to start that business, to go back to school, to take on that big leadership role, that is your instruction to move. God is not cruel. He just knows that sometimes the best way to get us to take a step of faith is to make the ground we're standing on feel a little shaky. That discomfort is not designed to harm you. It is designed to propel you. It's preparing you to manage a larger sphere of influence. A small bucket can only hold so much water. Before God pours out the greater blessing, He has to expand your capacity. And that expansion begins with a discontentment for the small. He is giving you a new appetite that your current situation cannot satisfy. This is where your faith muscles develop, forcing you to look beyond your current resources and rely solely on the God of abundance. So, don't ignore that feeling of restlessness. Don't try to medicate it with distractions or settle back into mediocrity. That feeling of "this isn't enough" is an announcement of what's coming. It's God confirming that the level you've been at is about to become your past, not your future. Embrace that sacred unease. Let it be the fuel that pushes you to step out and believe for bigger things. That dissatisfaction is the very thing that will launch you into the elevated life you were created to live. Get ready to stretch, because your best days are ahead. Here is a sign of elevation that can sometimes feel like a setback, yet it is truly a setup, old doors slamming shut permanently. You might be looking at a situation right now, a friendship that ended, a business deal that fell through, or a job that you unexpectedly lost. And you are feeling the pain of rejection and loss. It hurts to see a chapter close, especially one you thought was your future. But I want you to shift your perspective today. When God is about to move you into a vastly larger, more favorable space, He has to perform a strategic clearing operation in your life. He cannot take you through the new, wide open, miraculous door He has ordained if you are still standing there, holding on to the old, locked up one. Think of it this way: when you move into a luxurious new home, you don't take all the junk and clutter from your old garage with you. You clear it out. Likewise, God knows that certain people, certain habits, or certain limited opportunities belong to your past season, and they are simply too small, too distracting, or too negative for the elevated life you are about to step into. When God closes a door, it is never a denial, it is always a redirection. He is saving you from something that would ultimately hold you back from your destiny. That door that closed so painfully. It was a low ceiling that was preventing you from soaring to the heights He has planned. He is intentionally creating a void so that the magnificent new provision can rush in and fill the space. Your job in this phase is to trust the process and not chase after what God has clearly removed. Don't waste your precious energy trying to pry open doors that the Creator of the universe has already bolted shut. When you stubbornly cling to the old, you are telling God, I prefer my limited comfort zone to your unlimited favor. The truth is, sometimes God removes good things so He can give you His best thing. That closed door is a sign of respect from God. It is Him saying, I value your future too much to let you stay here. He is clearing your schedule, refining your circle, and removing the weight so you can run the race with endurance and joy. So instead of mourning the loss, start celebrating the liberation. Every closed door is a massive signpost pointing you to the magnificent new path. You are not rejected. You are being prepared for promotion. That letting go is creating a vacuum that the resources, the relationships, and the opportunities needed for your destiny are already being drawn into. Release the frustration, refuse to look back, and get ready, because you are on the move. The season of limited access is over, and the era of new, abundant doors is about to open wide for your life. This fifth sign is a beautiful and often overlooked indicator of impending elevation, a sudden increase in generosity. When God is about to expand your territory, He always starts by expanding your heart. You might notice that lately, you have a stronger, more persistent urge to give. You want to help that person in need. You feel moved to donate to a good cause, or you find yourself wanting to sow financial seeds more faithfully than before. This isn't just a fleeting nice feeling. It is a divine prompting. It's God working in you, knowing that He is about to release a greater flow through you. He is testing your heart to see what you will do with a little more, because He knows the principle, the pipeline, is always more important than the reservoir. God is not looking for people to merely hoard blessings. He is looking for people He can trust to be channels of blessing. Your increase in desire to give is a sign that God is preparing to trust you with more. If you are only focused on meeting your own needs, your capacity for receiving will always be limited. But when your heart expands to think about how you can be a solution to someone else's problem, you unlock the floodgates of abundance for your own life. Generosity is not just about money. It's about having an open hand. It's about giving your time, your talents, and your resources. When you start living to be a blessing, you put yourself in a posture to receive the overflow. This generous impulse is God expanding your capacity to manage increase. The person who is stingy with a small amount will never be given the opportunity to be generous with a large amount. By making you feel that urge to give, God is ensuring that when the major breakthrough comes, the new contract, the unexpected inheritance, the huge sales increase, your first thought won't be, what can I buy for myself? But rather, who can I help? Who can I bless? This demonstrates a maturity and a stewardship that prepares you for the high places. The feeling is confirmation that you are shifting from being a consumer to a contributor. So, when that feeling of wanting to sow a seed or help someone wells up inside you, act on it immediately. Don't let fear or analysis talk you out of it. That is the anointing of increase upon your life. By being generous, you are activating the law of reciprocity. You are putting forces into motion that guarantee a harvest. The fact that you are feeling that urge to give is a sure sign that the provision is already on its way. Get ready to receive it, because God is elevating you into a season where your input will always be less than your return, simply because He trusts your open, generous heart. This is one of the most exciting signs that God is actively orchestrating your elevation. Seeing the same great numbers and synchronicities. You start noticing a pattern. Maybe you repeatedly hear the same encouraging Bible verse in 3 different sermons, or the exact financial opportunity you need shows up in your inbox multiple times, or you keep running into a person who has the connections for your next career move. These aren't just random coincidences. They are divine breadcrumbs. God is sending you confirmations, little cosmic whispers, to let you know you are heading in the right direction and that your destiny is lining up. He is taking away the need to wonder and replacing it with the rock solid assurance that He is involved in the details of your life. When you start seeing these repeating themes and positive confirmations, it means the Creator of the universe is actively sensing up your life with the favorable circumstances you need. He is setting the stage. Think of it like a theatrical production. Before the curtain goes up, all the props have to be placed, the lights have to be focused, and the actors have to be in position. When you see these recurring signs, the right information, the right people, the right idea, it's the ultimate confirmation that the curtain is about to rise on your elevated season. Pay attention to the recurring words, the repeating numbers, and the sudden, uncanny timeliness of certain messages. They are proof that the universe is cooperating with your faith. This is a time to become highly aware and expectant. Don't dismiss these synchronicities as mere chance. That's a limited mindset. Instead, recognize them as the signature of God's favor. When you see that same opportunity pop up again, don't ignore it. Take that as your second or third invitation to step out in faith. When you feel that strong resonance with a message you hear repeatedly, write it down and hold on to it as a promise. God is essentially giving you a cheat sheet for your next move. He is affirming your faith journey and providing external validation for the quiet hope you hold inside. This is where the spiritual realm intersects with your physical reality in a glorious way. So, walk through your day with an anticipation that something great is about to happen. Your eyes of faith should be open to these divine alignments. The very fact that these repeating signs are showing up means that the promotion is no longer a distant hope. It is a present reality being revealed in pieces. You are not striving or forcing things. You are simply stepping into the flow that God has already created. Get ready, because these synchronicities are the final pieces of the puzzle clicking into place, announcing that your season of maximum fulfillment is ready for liftoff. The seventh and final powerful sign that God is elevating your life is a return of the forgotten dreams. We all have those visions we held when we were younger, before life got complicated and before discouragement set in. Maybe you dreamed of writing a novel, starting a nonprofit organization, going back to college for that degree, or launching a massive international ministry. Over time, those beautiful, God-given passions got dusty, pushed to the back shelf of your mind by responsibility and doubt. But now, out of nowhere, that old dream is resurrected. It's no longer a faint memory. It feels fresh, vital, and entirely possible again. This resurgence is not nostalgia. It is a divine reminder that the time for that promise has finally come. When a forgotten promise comes back to the forefront of your consciousness with overwhelming clarity and energy, it's a powerful sign that God is moving you from the season of waiting to the season of receiving. He is elevating you from dreamer to doer. He would not reignite that fire within you if He didn't intend to provide the resources, the connections, and the open doors necessary to fulfill it. That revived passion is the activation signal for your next level. It's God stirring your spirit saying, remember that beautiful vision I gave you years ago. It was never abandoned. It was just waiting for your maturity and for the right moment in history. The time is now. The beauty of this sign is that it confirms your true identity and purpose. That resurrected dream is often the core assignment for your elevated life. The struggle and the lessons you learned during the waiting period were not wasted. They were the training ground that prepared you to handle the fulfillment of that promise with wisdom and grace. You are no longer the naive dreamer you once were. You are a seasoned believer, ready to step into a level of responsibility that requires everything you have been through. That passion feels fresh because the anointing to accomplish it is being poured out upon you right now. You are ready to manage the great you once only hoped for. So dust off that old vision board. Pull out that notebook you tucked away years ago. That feeling of possibility, that energy surging around a long-held desire is your confirmation that the elevation is now taking root. Don't let fear tell you it's too late, or that you're too old, or that you don't have enough resources. The God who resurrects dead dreams is the God of the impossible. Step forward in faith and know that you are moving out of the limited past and into the magnificent, elevated future that was tailor-made for the fulfillment of your greatest, most cherished promise. Friends, I want you to walk out of this place today with a completely new perspective. Don't look at your circumstances, and don't look at the opposition, and don't dwell on the doors that have closed. Look at the signs. If you recognize even one of those 7 indicators, that supernatural peace, that increased desire to give, that discomfort with the small, then you know without a doubt that the hand of God is on your life, and He is preparing you for a shift. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are not failing. You are simply in the final stages of preparation for a great breakthrough. Your part right now is simply to declare it and receive it. Stop talking about what you can't do and start speaking about what God can do. Begin to act like an elevated person. Walk into your workplace with authority. Speak over your children with hope, and look in the mirror and remind yourself, I am anointed. I am equipped. I am favored. The enemy wants you to shrink back in fear, but I'm telling you to stand tall in faith. The attack is fierce because the promise is huge. So, right now, wherever you are, make a decision. I will not settle for the status quo. I am letting go of the old closed doors, and I am embracing the new thing God is doing. I am ready for the increase. I am ready for the promotion. I am ready for the expansion. Get rid of the small thinking. Get rid of the victim mindset. And put on your spiritual clothes of abundance and victory. Your destiny is calling you higher. Get ready to see God show up and show out in your life like never before. Your best days are not just coming. Your best days are happening right now. Now go out there and live every day with boldness, with faith, and with joy. God is elevating you. Believe it. Receive it. Amen.